This is MJ back for another chapter by chapter reaction to Jan Barrie's Peter Pan. I'm talking about chapter 3, Come Away, Come Away, and it's a cool chapter. There's a lot of interesting world building and lore. For right now, I'm going to talk about Tinkerbell. So Tinkerbell is a fairy, of course. Fairies were born from the first baby breaking into 1,000 pieces, and then I guess they propagated from there, because there's supposed to be one fairy for every child, but because children are so sophisticated nowadays, fairies no longer partner with children, I guess. And more so, or even worse, is that anytime a kid says I don't believe in fairies, a fairy falls down and dies. And also, fairies are supposed to be like gender bound to their kids. So Tink says that she's Peter's fairy, and he says he can't be because she's a lady and he's a gentleman. And I think that's just really cool. It's a really neat detail. It's a lot of fun. I don't think Tinkerbell wants to be Peter's fairy because she wants to help him with things, though. It seems like she has a different interest, especially because this is where we get the famous thimble kiss thing. Thimble kiss exchange, I should say. And I mean that on a couple levels. And yeah, it's really interesting that it definitely seems like Tinkerbell is kind of in love with Peter, even though she has a, let's say, a womanly figure, which you would think means that she's much older than him and needs to be with a guy who is, post-puberty or whatever. And I can't quite tell what age he's supposed to be, but he does have all his baby teeth still. And that's something that's mentioned. He's got these shiny white little pearls. And it's very interesting because Barrie points that out. I'm not 100% sure why. I don't know why he's quite so focused on his little pearl teeth, his little, baby teeth that he's still got. But to me, that hints that he should be pretty young. I've got a 10-year-old who's about to lose a baby tooth and have an adult molar come in, so maybe he's 10. But I was under the impression that Wendy was closer to 12, like 11, and I think Peter and Wendy are supposed to be the same age. Also, yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on, like Peter forgets that Wendy was the one who helped him sew his shadow on, or she did the work, and he celebrates it as if he did the very thing. And he just has a nature where he's cocky and he gloats and he's very proud of himself. But also, he has this nature that we'll see develop or highlighted a little bit more later, where he forgets, and it's like he's always forgetting. And there's something like a little sad and strange to me about that. And I mean, it's very possible that at one point he did love Tinkerbell, and he told her that he loved her, and said that they would be, whatever, best friends forever, whatever that means in that context to children. And then he forgot it, and she's holding on to that because maybe fairies don't forget in the same way the boy does. Especially a boy like him who doesn't age and has all these adventures. So, I don't know, it's a really interesting... So a lot of interesting stuff going on. Like, I don't really get the kiss thing. I mean, I do get it and I don't get it, because I haven't been a kid myself. But it also seems strange. But I also don't think it was like I don't think it was a romantic kiss physiologically, but it definitely was a big deal to them. And it's not something that's advisable. It's definitely something that should be avoided at such a tender age. But it's something that does happen. I know. For a fact that sort of thing does happen, but it's definitely more the innocent side than the non-innocent side, but they're quickly towards the age where it isn't innocent anymore. It quickly not become innocent, and Wendy delights and has a reaction from getting the thimble back from Peter, because she showed him what that was. And here's the thing, the way that it's written, it's so cleverly definitely edited or phrased rather, that I can't tell if she was screaming because Tinkerbell pulled her hair or because of getting the thimble from Peter. So, was Tinkerbell quick enough to prevent it from happening or not? And it's interesting because Peter doesn't really seem to react to it, and I don't know what that means either. Is it getting a thimble not a new experience for him, or is he still at the age where it doesn't really matter, it's not really something that excites him, and it's because of his naivete or what? But I don't know, it's interesting, and I don't quite understand what Barrie's doing with it, but I think mean, I love the book despite that. And the thing with the reason I'm like kind of going this is because with force fiction, I am reading books. I'm reading some of them that I've never read before, and others I'm reading that I've read a few times before. And I'm assessing them under the standard of fortress fiction, which is this something that's good for? Is it a good book? Is it good for children? Will it make them better people, better, stronger, kinder, more loving people? Will they be people who help build up the world, or will they be people who destroy the world around them? And you might think, well, okay, if you're being dubious about it, how can a little tech be destructive or deleterious? I don't know. Maybe it can't be. Maybe it can't be. But also the way it's framed here, I think it was a pick, and maybe it's not even a pick. Well, definitely she kissed him. But I don't know if he actually got to kiss her back, or if it connected or not. And I think it's interesting that Barrie did that, and I wonder why he did that, because he seems to be okay with shielding less than you might think, and being more brusque, or being a little more dangerous than you might like, or than one might like, but he plays with the danger in a really skillful way, I think, and I think that's being done here too, and I think it's something that kids would kind of gloss over, or not really notice too much, not take to heart. So I don't know. I'm not saying yes, this is part of the fortress fiction, because I need to finish listening to the whole book again before I can make that decision, but it makes it kind of teeter, kind of wobble, and again, it's kind of mitigated in the text, so I don't feel as badly about it, but it's really interesting. So interesting on these extremes, you get like, all this cool fairy lore and all this sweet innocent interaction between these two characters, but then there's this kiss thing, which is a little dubious, and then I'm not sure where I'm not decided on it yet. So anyway, that's it for now. Check out the next one.
I hope you enjoyed that. Go to mjmunoz.com to leave any questions, comments, or other feedback you might have. There you can find all of my analysis, art, and fiction. I cover books, tokusatsu, comic books, anime, and more. Look around. You're sure to find something else that you'll enjoy as well. This has been a Story Over Everything production.